On the other side of the world, nearly 8,500 miles away, 3 disastrous typhoons have struck the Philippines in the past 2 months. Media outlets from all around the world have covered breaking news on this natural disaster.
Alex, walang kuryente sa malaking bahagi nitong Marikina ngayon at siksikan pa sa mga iba. Alam mo, Alex, merong mga galit dahil mabagal.
With floodwater levels reaching a record 20 feet high, Storm Undoy brought the worst rainfall in Manila history. Since January of this year, they have been hit with a total of 39 tropical depressions and 13 typhoons, resulting in over 2,000 deaths. In my analysis, I hope to find, is there a difference between the reporting in American and Philippine newspapers on the typhoon coverage? In our international news gathering course, the main objective is to analyze how media is communicated and delivered in the global sphere. Analyzing the differences in coverage from the top national newspapers in both the Philippines and America will utilize a variety of concepts introduced throughout this course. By examining 10 articles from each newspaper, I hope to recognize and interpret the dynamics of modern international communication. First, I examined 2 reports: Western media coverage of humanitarian disasters and international media coverage. Then I selected applicable theories from each of these reports to shape my questions. When crafting my research questions, I decided it would be beneficial and most effective to use data from research previously conducted. From the International Media Coverage Report, I found American format of news coverage was almost universally that of a standalone story rather than a series or a multi-part report. I also found that America has a very America-centric news reporting agenda. From the Western Media Coverage of Humanitarian Disasters report, I found the following conclusions. Economics is a better guide to press interest in human suffering, and there is a correlation between the perceived economic impact of a disaster on Western markets and the quantity of media coverage. The 2 national newspapers I analyzed had the largest daily circulation for their respective countries, the Philippine Daily Inquirer and USA Today. My coding sheet is broken down into 4 main categories. 1. Basic information about the article. 2. General context within the article. 3. Political focus within the article. And 4. Economic versus humanitarian focus within the article. Within each main category, I have developed roughly 8 to 10 questions pertinent to the respective topic. Ultimately, this will help answer my main research question. After examining 10 articles from the Philippine Daily Inquirer, I came up with the following conclusions. First off, the articles generally were written for several of the same main reasons. 1. To deliver storm advisory and warnings. 2. To deliver sensational accounts detailing facts and information about a late-breaking storm. 3. To call for help. 4. To express internal economic and political concern. And finally, 5. To offer solutions to deal with this type of crisis in the future. I found that Filipinos are equally divided and somewhat torn in their feelings about handling the damage relief on their own. In some aspects, the articles make it appear as though they are perfectly efficient, organized, and do not need any external help. Yet in other aspects, they beg for the help of Western countries. I also found several of the articles draw comparisons with Hurricane Katrina and the United States. I particularly found this to be most interesting. After analyzing the articles from USA Today, I came to the following conclusions. Their only motives for reporting were to report global weather, to focus on politics or economics, or to acknowledge and praise American efforts for disaster relief. Many of my results agree with results of previous studies that I'd researched before conducting my own analysis. In particular, the International Media Coverage Report's theory that American reporting has a one-sided, America-centric news reporting agenda was correct. In conclusion, to answer my main research question, are there differences in the 2 countries' reporting? Yes. American articles were much more generic and fact-driven. and less emotional and personal, while the Philippines articles were just the opposite of that. Although my research proves these conclusions to be true, I believe there's a bit more to the analysis than just those surface-level conclusions. The real difference in international reporting lies in the motivations and agendas for writing. Oftentimes, these basic reporting fundamentals get in the way and ultimately will forever skew our international media and global communication. We must all realize that any government, nation, or publication can choose the topics, content, and angles for articles in which they report and still present it objectively. Therefore, we, as active audience members, must look deeper into the motivations behind the reporting to find the true meaning of the articles we read.